Hey everybody, this is Tolgothgar and this is my Assassination DPS guide for 5.4. This is a basic DPS guide, so for detailed information check out my Assassination Opening Rotations guide and my Assassination Decision Making guide. Those guides will cover things in a little bit more detail so you can learn how to maximize your DPS. This guide will not be covering gemming, enchanting, glyphing, reforging, or talents. You can find those guides almost anywhere. In this guide, I'll be covering a couple of different things. First thing is your basic abilities. We'll be going over what you'll be using in your rotation. Second is your rotation priorities, so we'll be covering what's important and why. The last thing is the rotation itself, so we'll get to see it in action. Let's go over the abilities that we'll be using. First is your Mutilate. This is your main combo point generator. Second is Dispatch. This is your secondary combo point generator that procs off a blind side. You also use it as your primary combo point generator when your target is below 35% health. Third is Rupture. Rupture is a bleed that you place on your target. Your fourth ability is Slice and Dice. This increases your attack speed by 40%, which translates into a straight DPS increase. The fifth ability is Envenom. This is a finisher that doubles as a damage dealer and a buff. The last two abilities are your cooldowns. Your first one is Shadow Blades, and your second one is Vendetta. So let's go over what these abilities do and why they're important. Mutilate is your main combo point generator. It generates 2 combo points and 3 combo points when Seal Fate procs. You'll be using this ability if you don't have a blindside proc up and if your target is above 35% health. Dispatch, your secondary combo point generator, is generally used if it's available. If blindside procs, then you usually use it if it's up. This generates 1 combo point and 2 if Seal Fate procs. If your target has less than 35% health, then you want to make sure that you use this ability as your primary combo point generator. The next one is Rupture. Rupture is very important. The reason it's important is not because of the damage that you do, because that is trivial, but the energy that you'll be regenerating is far more important through your Venomous Wounds. Venomous Wounds gives you a 75% chance to regenerate 10 energy off of every Rupture tick, so it's very important that you have this up 100% of the time. Another reason that you want to have this up on your target is the energy you'll regenerate when your target dies. For trash mobs or for adds during raids, it's very important that you utilize this ability for its energy regeneration. You want to make sure that you put up a 3 combo point Rupture or higher, because anything less is not enough time for you to do anything useful before you have to refresh it. In a pinch though, any number of combo points is better than letting Rupture fall off completely. It's really that important. Your Slice and Dice is also very important, but because of the nature of the class and rotation, this buff becomes a trivial part of the rotation, despite its importance. Slice and Dice increases your attack speed by 40%, and that translates into a straight DPS increase. Because the more attacks you do, the more often your poisons proc. The more often your poisons proc, the more damage you do, because the majority of the damage that you do in this spec is going to be from your poisons. It needs to be up 100% of the time, but that's extremely easy to do. Your next ability is Envenom, and this damage dealing finisher not only doubles as a buff, but it also refreshes your Slice and Dice, and that's why Slice and Dice becomes a trivial part of the rotation. This refreshes it every single time. The Envenom buff is a buff that increases your poison proc chance by 15%, so you want to try to keep this buff up as frequently as possible. You should only use this if your Slice and Dice is already up, and your Rupture is up and not about to fall off. Your Vendetta and Shadow Blades are very easy to use, and you should macro these together, and you want to make sure that you use them on cooldown. They have different timers, so just activate them when they're available. So let's take a look at the rotation. First of all, we want to make sure that we have the correct poisons on. So we're going to have Deadly Poison as our main poison. You want to make sure that you get that one up all the time. I like to use Crippling Poison as my secondary. If you like to use Mind Numbing Poison, that's fine too. So we're going to open up from stealth here. You always open up from stealth. So we're going to start there, and we're going to open with Mutilate. And we're going to activate our Slice and Dice here, and get our Rupture up, and then we're going to generate some combo points here and get our Envenom. So you want to make sure that you always use a 5-point Envenom. You don't ever want to hit Envenom with fewer than 5 points. Your Rupture can be hit with essentially any number of combo points, but your Envenom will be wasted if you use fewer than 5 combo points. And so that's the basic rotation here. So we're going to throw our cooldowns into this rotation, so we're going to let everything fall off really quick, and we're going to open back up here. Alright, so we want to make sure that we open up from stealth again, and if you're spec'd into Shadow Step, then you can Shadow Step behind your target and start your rotation right away. So we're going to stealth up, hit our Shadow Step, open up on our target, get our Rupture up, get our Slice and Dice up, and then we're going to use up as much energy as we can before we hit our cooldowns. And so here we go. Got our rotation going, make sure that Rupture doesn't fall off, make sure that we don't energy cap, and make sure that we don't use our combo point generators to generate more combo points than we can hold. Anticipation allows you to hold up to essentially 10, so you want to make sure that you stop hitting your combo point generators once you get close to 10 combo points. And from there, it's just the management of your buffs and your bleed, and that's it. And so that's our DPS guide, and that's your rotation. Thank you for watching this guide. I hope everybody learned a little bit of something about Assassination Spec, and this is Tolgothgar signing out.